We're recording.
Well,
All right.
first one.
First one.
Won't be the best one. But
First-
you gotta start somewhere.
First time's never the best. First time's never the best. So, Life in Black and White. This is Tay. I'm Bill. Just two dudes that like to sit and talk about some shit and figure we record it.
I'm Black, you white. Life in black and white. There we go.
So today's video, we're gonna cover a couple different things. First thing first, we're gonna talk about some NBA free agency.
Get my time already. So we talking free agency?
Yeah, we're starting with the NBA free agency.
Alright. How are you liking the moves?
I mean, I'm loving Malcolm Brogdon in Boston. Just saying.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how was it gonna like Boston moves. I mean,
I like the idea of pairing Smart and Bogdan
okay.
together. I also like the idea of Bogdan being like a sixth man, so they can rotate those four with Brown, Tatum, Smart, and Bogdan.
Brogdon's pretty young still, right?
Yeah, I think he's only like 24.
Yeah.
So young dude.
I think a smarter move would be to make have Smart be that 6-man. 6-man veteran, getting older. Brogdon can shoot better if I'm not mistaken.
He
I'd have to
can.
check those
He's
stats.
more of a true point guard than
Mhm.
what Smart is. But with Smart not on the floor, you lose that defensive intensity.
Yeah.
And that's why I said you want to be able to rotate those four, because you could put Bogdan, Smart, and Tatum at the three.
How's his defense been?
I mean, he's a young dude, so he plays defense like a young dude.
Okay. So, with a lot of energy, but not always smart.
Yeah. Not always in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah.
My question for you is, what do you think about Kyrie possibly coming back to the Lakers?
Man, I don't think it's gonna happen. But it would be nice. I mean, I'm always a basketball first type of dude, but less than a emotion type thing. So I don't really put my emotions in how I would feel about KD leaving this team or Kyrie doing this and that. If I think upon just a basketball standpoint, LeBron, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis would be some beautiful basketball. So I would say it would excite me if it happened, but that if is a big if.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a big if.
you got what, 44 million you owe Russell Westbrook. You gotta make disappear somehow.
And then nobody's gonna want to take that on.
No.
Especially not somebody that's in the Nets position. You went from having KD, Kyrie, and Harden to none of them.
To Ben Simmons and Westbrook.
I don't wanna be another one of those people that's putting a bad taste of Ben Simmons in people's mouth, but he has a lot he needs to prove.
And then what they're asking for KD. You heard they asked the Timberwolves for, for Cat. For
Well, they're still saying that now they want, regardless of who it is, they want one superstar, 7 picks, and I think it was something else they was asking for. And it's like, and that's just for KD. That's not even mentioning what they asking for Kyrie. So.
And the sad thing about it all is the Nets will still screw it up.
Yeah. Yeah, they would. New York sports is just, they're having a real go at it. That's why we need the Yankees to win the next series. Cause
Judge is crushing the ball right now.
Yeah. That's a little bit off topic. So
it is what it is.
We'll go back to the NBA. So, Rudy Gobert
Uh-huh.
and Cat. Think it's a good fit or not?
I think it's a wonderful fit. This allows Cat to slide to the 4, where Cat can be more dominant,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to allow them to play a true 5-4 relationship instead of this hybrid that we've gone to where the 4s are playing 5s. So they're going to have a mismatch in the middle every game.
Who do they have running the ball?
Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
God bless it. I'm gonna forget his name. It's a big name too.
Because
Anthony Edwards.
he's running point.
No, Anthony Edwards is a small forward, and D'Angelo Russell is their point guard.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get to. So
Yeah.
because I mean, you can have Anthony Edwards run point. I see him run the ball up the court a lot, but when you need that true point guard if you're gonna have a big relationship, you know.
Yeah.
A big to big relationship is cool, but you still need that point guard to alleviate. I just don't. The reason I ask about it is because I just don't want Cat to take this opportunity to
Just start shooting threes.
to be at the perimeter. You
I'm
know?
a 3-point champ.
Yeah.
I mean,
It could work. I just don't think he has those Anthony Davis like handles for a big man. You know what I'm saying?
see, my thing is with Cat in particular. He has the ability to do something that the NBA game has kind of lost in the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
That mid-range jumper.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me who at a 4 position is going to be able to guard him at a mid-range jumper.
I mean, I'm sure there's a few guys that can, but it won't be.
It's not going to be a nightly thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be 1 or 2 teams in the league that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take somebody like KD lining up and guarding him at the 4.
I was going. That's why I
Like-
said it can be. I mean, Ant can do it too if he's not running the 5. But you know, they're probably gonna have him running the 5 and LeBron running the 4. And I mean, LeBron can do it.
LeBron can, but do you want LeBron doing that?
And at what 30, he'll be 37 probably around this time. 36 now. So
37? Having to check the 4?
somebody like Cat.
That's not an easy proposition, man. It's just not.
What do you think? What do you think the Hornets are gonna do?
Same thing they always do. Sit on their hands and not do anything.
You know, we got the Mikal Bridges thing going on, so
I mean, much love to Michael as a player. Much love to MJ as a player. But he needs to just go sit in the corner and let some people that know this side of the house run this side of the house.
Yeah.
If anything that we've shown from the Hornets is MJ could run the scouting department because he knows ball. Hand down, he knows ball.
Yeah.
But the business side, who needs to get paid, when they need to get paid, how they need to get paid, hasn't really worked out.
But that, I mean,
And I don't want to put that all on MJ's plate, but as the person that's out front, he's the easiest target.
it wouldn't necessarily change though. I mean, look at Phoenix.
That's true.
The owner of Phoenix is not really in control of everything the way that MJ is, but he is well known to be the cheapest owner in the business. So
Even though he just broke off Booker.
that's the first person he broke off since Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I'm not saying it.
Yeah,
But he understood, I got to keep Book. Like,
yeah.
like Chris Paul's getting old. we're talking about dealing this center, I gotta keep Book.
Lastly, do you think Utah keeps Donovan Mitchell?
I think they blow Utah up. Completely blow it up.
Where do you think Mitchell lands?
So I don't think he'll end up landing there, but I would love to see Mitchell running with Portland and Dame. They both got that dog mentality.
Yeah,
And
that
then
would be
running.
nice. You kind of need a big three, and I think you don't necessarily need a big three. That's just the way that today's league is.
I got another one for you.
But I think Dame needs a big man. He don't need another guard.
So I got two more for you. He could either land in, if I'm him and I'm choosing my destination, these are the two places I want. I want Philly, or I want Miami.
Okay.
Let's think about it. In Philly, I got Harden, and I got Embiid.
That would actually be a good fit.
It's going to be a very good fit because they space the floor for me. I can take that one-on-one opportunity, drive like he likes to do, and then, oh, you want to collapse? Boom, here's Embiid. Oh, you want to collapse? Boom, there's Harden.
He likes to bring the ball up, though.
So
then you run the risk because you got, unless Maxi's a part of the trade deal.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because you got Maxi, you got Harden. They both like to be ball dominant players. And then you bring Mitchell in, so now you got three ball dominant players.
Well, I mean, obviously you're gonna have to move some pieces to get Mitchell. I assumed
Maxi would be a part
Maxi
of that.
would be a part of that.
Yeah. Because Maxi is young.
He is.
And good. So, what was the other one you said?
Miami.
Yeah, Victor Oladipo would have to be a part of that deal, but he's not like,
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not like losing a big piece, especially when you're gaining Donovan Mitchell.
if you look at it, and I told you today, you could either have Donovan Mitchell or Victor Oladipo.
I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. Yeah.
That ain't even a question.
So then, probably Tyler Hero will have to be a part of that too, with a couple picks. And then you're left with Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, Adebayo as a big three. I can rock with that.
Yeah.
I can rock with that.
But I'm
That
just
would be
saying that's
a lot
if
better.
he can pick his destination.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's at this point, he's still on the contract, so they're trading him. So there's nothing
Yeah.
we can really do about that. So we'll just see where he gonna go.
He'll probably end up somewhere like Houston,
Yeah.
because that's what can give him the best package.
I think we went over our 10 minutes on that one.
It's okay. I can edit it later. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. There you go. Yeah, yeah. What's our next one?
Next one is college sports. Looking ahead at college sports, in particular the SEC and ACC football this season. Not even looking ahead at the expansion. We'll do that at a later date.
Okay, okay.
Just looking ahead at this season for the SEC and ACC football.
It's prime time. That's what I think. Prime is coming back. That's all I've been worried about. Is old Coach Prime.
I mean, Jack, he is doing things in an HBCU that's never been done.
Yeah.
So let's give the man his props there. When you land a 5-star recruit to an HBCU, you're doing something.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care if it's above board, below board. You're doing something right to at least get the recruit on campus.
Not to mention, they're getting an experience that's like no other college, let alone HBCU.
I mean, I'd almost equate it to if you're a 5-star that goes to an HBCU, it's almost like being the basketball star at your local high school. Like Kobe Bryant walking through his high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody on campus gonna know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Now
they're
that's-
getting to meet people before they make it to a certain level, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, like Odell, he loves to go back to LSU
Yep.
and things like that. I'm sure every team has that one player who does that.
I mean, Peyton shows up to Tennessee quite often, so.
But we're talking all of those guys showing up to one school instead of just one of them going to one school.
Yeah.
So it's like they're getting to meet and experience people that has already went through that path and has every type of advice and situation that they can help with. You know, that's monumental and it's big for.
I mean, it's big for. It's not just big for the culture; it's big for the sport. Because for a long time now, it's been who's going to come in and disrupt Alabama,
Yeah.
Clemson, Ohio State. Like, who's going to be that team that? And if it's an HBCU that does it, like, who saw that coming?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a day to remember. But we're still far from it, so
Yeah. I mean,
we can get back to this season.
so SEC wise, speaking of Alabama, Alabama and Georgia, top 2 dogs. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Who you think's the third best in the conference?
I don't know.
Because it's clear that Alabama and Georgia, as long as nobody gets hurt, obviously, are on a collision course for the SEC championship.
See, but the thing about the SEC is that once you get outside of those two,
There's a cluster.
there's a cluster.
Yeah.
And you don't really know who's going to be that third each year.
Yeah, you got like Texas A&M, Arkansas, which where did Arkansas come from? Tennessee kind of getting their feet back underneath them. Florida, if this new coach works out. You got Brian Kelly just landed in LSU. Who knows what he could do?
Yeah.
There's
And LSU is just one of those teams where you literally never know.
yeah.
Each year they could be, one year they could be third, the next year they could be 15th, and then the next year after that they're third again.
Yeah.
So you just never know with LSU.
I mean, they had an all-star like Leonard Fournette and won 5 games one year, and then won, I think it was 10 or 11 games the next.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
That's just
LSU.
that's how they roll.
Yeah. Personally, I understand my fandom. Personally, I think it's probably going to be either Texas A&M or Tennessee that falls into that third spot. As far as the ACC goes, man, does Clemson regain what Clemson was?
Well, they got Cincinnati over there too, don't they?
No.
That's
Cincinnati's in the AAC
okay.
until they go to the Big 12.
I was gonna say that they merged. I mean, Big 12 merged with Pac-12, didn't it?
No. So, expansion. Big 10 is gaining USC and UCLA.
See, it's so confusing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna go to a 2-team setup.
It would be much easier.
I'll dive into that next time. But it's gonna go into a 2-team setup where 2-conference setup where it's essentially East Coast versus West Coast.
Yeah.
Kind of like the NFL has it. Not exactly because they have AFC and NFC on both sides of the country. But
Yeah.
similar to that, there's going to be a division. I just say East Coast, West Coast kind of makes it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Split it down the Mississippi. Bap, bap.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
You have to do something with the Midwest, though, so there'd be a lot more into that.
Yeah. But
I will be the first to say I'm not well versed in the difference of conferences and where they all land.
and I mean, the big thing behind it that's driving it all, money.
Oh yeah,
So
it's a multi-billion-dollar collegiate sports industry.
I mean, when you're looking at the SEC, and I think they're getting $186 million for this year's TV contract.
Yeah. And I think they were trying to. I think it was the ACC that was trying to get a deal that was going to be bigger than that.
Yeah, but who they got to really put forth? Like, no offense to the ACC whatsoever. They have some good teams.
Mm-hmm.
They've just fallen on some hard times. They need Miami. They need Florida State.
Yeah.
They need Virginia Tech to really kind of get that momentum going again to where they were previously.
Does West Virginia fall under them?
Nah, West Virginia is currently in the Big 12.
12.
Yep.
Yeah. I see West Virginia leaving the Big 12.
I mean,
It would only make sense. But
especially if the Big 12 pulls in any of the Pac-12, and they've got to fly from West Virginia to freaking Arizona.
well, that article I was just reading was just talking about that, saying that the Pac-12 is really trying to go after Big 12.
So you think the Pac-12 will absorb the Big 12? If that happens, West Virginia definitely leaves. They go Big Ten or they go back to the ACC, something of that nature. I don't want to say back to the ACC. I don't think they were in the ACC prior. But they do something of that nature. What I think is going to be real interesting is if the SEC decides they want some of the ACC teams. Can the ACC convince them to stay?
But then the ACC is going to have to seek out other teams that's not in the SEC. Because if the SEC starts swallowing up the ACC's teams, then we're not going to be able to have that two-party system, basically.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that
SEC
would ruin the game. Not to sound like one of those guys.
I don't think so. There's certain teams that they would have to pass like monumental things to bring into the league.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have to pass some monumental stuff to bring in like Florida State, Miami, Clemson.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff in the charter that says that the original group teams, you can't add schools from their state. So South Carolina, you can't add a school. You can't add a school from Georgia. Can't add a school from Florida. Can't add an Alabama school, Mississippi school, or a Tennessee school.
So there is a clause in there they kind of tried to have some checks and balances.
It's going to take a monumental move to make it happen.
Okay.
I think the clause states that you have to have a 80% majority to make those additions, and 80% of that room agreeing on something is
80% of any room agreeing on something these days is hard to find.
especially when they got the option of like going into North Carolina and grabbing UNC and Duke,
Yeah.
and then grabbing Virginia Tech and adding those two states into it. Because not only does that help your football with UNC and Virginia Tech, helps your basketball with Duke, North Carolina, and Virginia. Helps your academics because you just added Virginia and Duke.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's not the only school holding up the academics for the SEC anymore. So it's going to be an interesting few years.
Yeah. I think it'd be nice to have that two-party system, just so everybody gets a little bit of shine.
I mean, right now it's a 5-party system.
Yeah, I mean, think about UCF, something that's not really well known, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You don't know those teams, those little small teams that could be on TV playing, but you never see them.
Ooh. Now, hear me out. Just a thought just popped in my head. So I hadn't really thought about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we went to a 2-party East Coast, West Coast system, but we did it kind of like how the Champions League has it, where the bottom 2 can fall out and be replaced by the top 2 of the lower league?
Wow.
So let's say, just putting names out there. So the bottom 2 East Coast teams for this year are Appalachian State and Vanderbilt. Okay. They fall out. And then you got 2 teams like UCF, Central Florida, and Cincinnati that jump in for the next year. So it gives the teams below that are lower something to fight for every year. I can be one of those 2 that jump into the next stage next year.
So something like a play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Instead of just giving up at the end of the year, it's like, okay, I can actually...
You got to fight.
Yeah.
Because if you're one of the bottom 2 teams, you're dropping out. Like,
okay.
It's a lot of moving parts.
But it'll create more of a urgency, which creates more people to watch.
Yeah.
And that's, again, bottom line.
Money drives it. So. It might actually work.
Yeah, I like that.
We're looking at time.
We are over time again.
We just gonna keep blowing past time then. Because you know what the next section is?
What's that?
What ifs.
Okay. All right. This I'm doing the 10-minute time, but this one
you might as well
over.
bump that one up to 20. I'm just telling you, because we got some good ones on this one. So this is What Ifs Volume 1. First one we're starting with something close to home for you. What if Kobe stayed a Hornet?
I probably don't live here. Probably stay in Charlotte for the rest of my life. I probably also have a shrine in my backyard to Kobe. Michael Jordan would be a much better owner.
Could he have convinced Shaq to join him in Charlotte?
No.
So the Shaq Kobe thing would have never happened.
Well, we just didn't have that money for that. I mean, because we drafted Kobe.
Yeah.
We would have been able to gain the money to pay him. But as quickly as the Lakers were able to bring in Shaq after drafting Kobe, well, actually, no, they had Shaq already when they drafted Kobe, didn't they?
No. Shaq came in. I want to say Shaq came in 2 years after Kobe was traded to the Lakers on draft night.
So, yeah, I don't think if Kobe stayed with the Hornets, I don't think Kobe Shaq ever team up. But I think after that, after 2 or 3 years, when people started to realize who Kobe was, Charlotte would have been a nice destination for a lot of players that would have never.
With the Hornets' history, would they have paid to keep Kobe once that rookie contract went up?
Yes. Earlier I was talking about Phoenix being the cheapest owner.
Yeah.
He would have paid Kobe if he had Kobe.
True. I mean, Kobe is that.
He's that player.
Yeah.
That's like asking if somebody would pay Jordan or if somebody would pay LeBron. Yes.
Yeah.
You
gotta pay him. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta pay him.
We would have definitely had to find great role players because they wouldn't have wanted to pay nobody else.
Yeah.
So we would have to find those Ray Allens and those Mario Chalmers and those good role players that be in the background that don't ask for too much.
I got you. All right, so same kind of line. What if Shaq never leaves the Lakers?
If Shaq never leaves the Lakers, we have no debate over who's the best big man and who's the best shooting guard of all time.
How long would that have gone? If Kobe and Shaq had been able to coexist, how many rings they have? 10?
Definitely somewhere around 10.
Because then you don't have the Spurs dynasty.
No.
If Shaq and Kobe are still together.
Mm-hmm.
So all the Spurs rings, I'm not going to say all of them,
no,
but a good chunk of the Spurs rings.
Because honestly, in my head, if you leave them two together, especially after the careers that they had after leaving each other,
yeah,
if you still have that same type of game together, that's 15, 20 rings, to be honest. But you can't win every year.
Yeah.
I do understand that. So I give it 8 to 10. That's the only reason I give it 8 to 10 is because I'm realistic in my love of basketball. But them staying together, that's rings on top of rings on top of rings.
And with that happening, does that cause ripple effects across the league where you see LeBron leave Cleveland faster? You see...
Oh, most definitely.
Because they're chasing that ring.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have Shaq and Kobe living together.
Honestly, Dwayne Wade doesn't get a ring.
No. Dirk Nowitzki doesn't get a ring. Like, there's a lot of people that don't get rings if those two stay together.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Tim Duncan may have gotten his last one before that happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been beautiful for that to happen. It sucks what happens to them, but that's life. They both equally got a ring after leaving each other, so neither one of them could say anything.
Yeah. All right, let me hit you with another what if. Being a Charlotte boy, how differently would we see it? What if Cam Newton won the Super Bowl? What if he had that drive that won the Super Bowl?
If Cam Newton won the Super Bowl, we will be talking about how he is at least the greatest Panthers quarterback in history. And he would have a whole lot more respect than people give him now. And really, they take all the little things that they don't like and make it an attack on his game. Now, the only downfall I would say is accuracy, but most quarterbacks aren't accurate. We don't have an influx of just bullet passing quarterback. We got Tom Brady, I'll give him that. We got Patrick Mahomes, I'll give him that. But who else is just that bullet guy that's just on the money every time?
So if I'm just looking at what's in the NFL right now, I wouldn't even say Patrick Mahomes is that bullet guy every time. He's good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He can come up with some weird ass throws that just work. But got like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's fairly accurate. Matthew Stafford, his accuracy has improved recently, but I think that's more of the talent that he's throwing to instead of his accuracy needing to improve. Justin Herbert, he throws darts. Out of the
Justin
Chargers.
can't throw. Justin can't throw.
I remember the second that I was sold on Justin Herbert. They were showing his Oregon pre-draft workout. Wind was blowing in his face. Raining, blowing in his face. This boy throws a 75-yard pass.
Wow.
Standing flat-footed. And I went, all right, can we draft him, please?
Lord.
He's talented. But I do see what you're saying, where accuracy isn't the strong suit of the majority of starters in the NFL.
Yeah. And like you said with Matthew Stafford, look at who he's throwing to.
Yeah.
Cam hasn't always had people to throw to.
I mean, Kelvin Benjamin, who
bad.
got transitioned to a tight end this past season.
And if you think about it, he had Smith during Smith's last years, and everybody was talking about how good Cam was then.
Yeah.
You know, when you got somebody to catch the ball, you look good. But if anybody there to catch the ball, you just look like you threw the ball.
I mean, and when he had Greg Olson, prime Greg Olson, he looked good. That was because Greg grabbed the ball just about anywhere it was around him. All right, I got another one for you. Since you're my basketball guy,
Okay.
what if Derrick Rose never gets hurt?
I'm not sure if the Bulls would have been able to create and keep a championship team. But I see Derrick Rose getting another MVP and possibly 2 to 3 championships.
See,
depending on if he stays on the Bulls too long or not.
I think if D Rose stayed healthy, he could actually have attracted D Wade to come back to Chicago with him. And if you got D Rose and D Wade in Chicago, the likelihood of LeBron going to Chicago increases. And now you got D Wade, D Rose, and LeBron as a big three.
I don't think LeBron would ever went to the Bulls. I don't think LeBron does that.
Even if he doesn't go to the Bulls, you still got D Rose, D Wade, and you can get another guy.
Because I don't necessarily see.
You think he doesn't want to be compared that much to MJ that he stays away from the Bulls?
Yeah, definitely. And also, on a grander scale, if D Rose never gets hurt, I don't see D Rose staying with the Bulls.
Okay, where would D Rose have ended then?
Like you said, instead of having D Rose get Wade to come to Chicago, Wade gets D Rose to come to Miami.
Ooh.
Now you got LeBron down there.
LeBron, Bosh, D Wade, and D Rose, a healthy D Rose. Oof.
Ray Allen coming off the bench. Mario Chalmers coming off the bench.
Oof. That's a scary lineup.
Yeah.
That's a scary lineup. All right, I got one more for you for this iteration of what is, because you know I got a bunch more. Barry Sanders
Okay.
put in today's game.
Oh, Lord.
What if Barry Sanders was put in today's game? How many yards? How many MVPs? Like, how long does he play?
It depends on what team he with. You gotta give me a team.
Pick your team, whatever team you want to put them on.
Who's big on the running game? Will you put them on Philly? They want to be big on the running game. They just ain't got a really good running back. All right, we'll go Saints then. Saints always running the ball. So, Barry Sanders in today's game on the Saints. I don't care what I'm doing or where I'm at. Saints versus Tennessee. I'm watching that game. But we talking about that's going to be 5,000 running yards in one game.
See, I think the better fit for him in the league is as a Charger.
They do a lot of play action.
They do a ton of play action. He catches the ball out of the backfield because Barry Sanders had hands.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that, but he had hands. So coming out of the backfield, I think he could put up LT numbers with the Chargers easily.
Because they don't hit like they used to.
Yeah. He's not getting people coming across.
Rightfully so.
Coming at his head.
Don't like the arguments against the way that they hit now, but
his knees don't get hit as much.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, and there's literally video of this man running, his feet going one way, his body going the other way, and it just somehow working.
God, that would be in today. Yeah. DBs would have a hard time.
Oh.
They would have a hard time. I mean,
imagine him lined up on a linebacker in today's game.
But they do make it. I was going to say they do make people. People are bigger.
Yeah, I don't
people
disagree
are bigger
with
and
that.
stronger now. So
and they're faster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with that.
That's why the whole argument of Wilt Chamberlain is mind-boggling to me. The average person in the league back then was maybe 6 foot. Maybe that was the
average person in the league was my height. Like,
yeah.
I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day.
Wilt Chamberlain should have scored 100 points every game. But in today's league, Barry Sanders would be at least 200 yards a game. Easy.
Combined yardage, easily. 200, 250 a game.
Man, that would be crazy to see. That would be crazy to see. But I mean, for me, it'd have been crazy to see him at his own time.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we can watch video, but
yeah. I mean, like actually see.
Yeah.
I always think about that with Jordan. You know. I know we watched him on TV when I was a kid and stuff like that, but I grew up on Kobe. So it's like, would I feel different if I actually got to see him in person? I know I probably wouldn't, but I'm more of a basketball, more of an NBA than just a fan of players. So I don't get into the whole Jordan is God thing that everybody else does. But I do think that sometime, like, would I feel different if I was able to go to the Hornets arena when they were playing the Bulls and watch Jordan play?
I did hear a funny take on the LeBron MJ conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll get a good kick out of this.
Okay.
You go to a girl's house 10 times, you smash 4 times.
Okay.
You go to a girl's house 6 times, smash 6 times. Who's the GOAT?
All right. That's lit. That's lit.
See what I'm saying? Like,
it's hard to rebuttal that. It's hard to.
I mean, it's a very clear way of putting it. Now, it takes a good bit of effort to get there 10 times. I will give the man credit all day. But MJ went 6 for 6.
Also, how many times have LeBron been to the playoffs that he didn't go to the finals?
I mean, LeBron's only missed the playoffs, twice in his entire career?
He missed twice and got knocked out. Was it once or twice? But the point that I'm making is, if he has a team around him to get there, he's going to get there.
Yeah.
Whether he loses or not. It's a very nuanced conversation. That's why I never look at it like.
I think it should always be top 10.
Yeah.
It's very clear these guys are in an upper echelon.
And no orders.
Yeah.
Top 10, just give me 10 players that are the best that you know or you like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't try to put them by numbers, because then that's when people want to argue about where placements are and stuff like that. And it's like, there's really no best of anything. That's the concept that people have to get out of their mind. There's no real best of anything. What I do right now, somebody 50 years from now can come back and do it way better than what I'm doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the outlook. You want those people. You want that to happen. You don't want everything to just be so hoarded to you.
Think about it when you were coming up playing ball in high school.
Mm-hmm.
If you stopped on a fast break and shot a 3,
Yeah.
would you still be playing ball?
No.
No, you'd be on a bench. Steph Curry does it, and everybody's like, yeah, if you can do it, do it.
Yes. If you can do it like him, shoot it.
I mean, it's the game evolves. It always will. It's the same with any sport. The game always evolves.
Yeah.
Somebody better is coming along every time.
That's what I was saying earlier. I don't like the whole arguments against the way that they hit now. We should evolve into a society that don't want to see somebody get their fucking head split open just for us to be entertained. You know?
I mean, if we want that, there's the Roman times. We can build a coliseum, throw 2 people in it, let them kill each other. Like, I mean, we kind of got that. It's called the UFC, but whatever.
Yeah. That's
what
what I mean. If you want to see that, go watch boxing and UFC. We trying to do a skilled position here.
Yeah. If you want to see somebody run 23 miles per hour with a football in their hands while other people try to hit them,
Yeah.
that's football. That's still crazy. All right. Ooh. We might have to cut a section because it's getting long today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the one I really want to get to, we'll make sure we get to. The build your team and why.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull it up on the screen here.
This one was the one right here. Think about this for days.
So I got 3 for you, okay? So I got 1, it's no repeats. So you can only purchase 1 on each level.
Okay.
All right. So for me, okay, I got AI, I got Ray Allen, I got KD, I got KG, and I got Shaq on the team.
Wow. Okay. And that's the. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So KD is my 3, KG is my 4, Shaq's my 5, Ray is my 2, and AI is my point guard.
And this is no repeat.
No repeats. You only get 1 on each line. Tell me that ain't it. I got shooting, I got size, I got the interior.
Okay, that's what I was looking for, the explanation of why that combination of players.
Because it doesn't matter how you hit me, I got a way I can counter it.
Yeah.
You want to collapse on KG and Shaq? Cool. I got Ray Allen and Kevin Durant out at the 3-point line shooting bombs.
But you're slightly a liability on defense.
Okay. I'm going with the Golden State method.
Yeah,
we don't forget goal.
You gotta outscore me, my boy.
I'm gonna put 140 on it, and you gotta beat it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I mean, you can't beat that. To be honest, you can't beat that at all.
it's a track meet to 140. Can you get there first?
Heck yeah.
So, my other one where I allowed repeats to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is how this one rolls out. So keeping AI as my point guard.
Okay.
Okay. Kobe at my 2.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Pierce is my 3.
Okay.
Okay. Shaq is my 5, and KG is my 4. Kevin Garnett's my 4 again. Now I understand I have some bias in there with my Boston.
Yes.
I understand. But again, KG and Shaq in the middle. I got Paul Pierce, who is the truth out there. I got Kobe, who you're gonna have to throw people at.
Yeah. Then you got AI.
And then I got AI, who is a monster.
AI is a dog. You need somebody like AI on your team.
And I got a third one. Completely alternate. Alright.
Okay.
D Wade is my point guard.
Okay.
Okay. Ray Allen at my 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Paul Pierce is my 3. Tim Duncan is my 4. And Marcus Saul is my 5.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that 5 pick. I like that 5 pick.
I feel like that one's a little bit more defensive minded.
There you go.
A little bit more defensive minded on that one. But, again, D Wade and Ray Allen side by side, we know that's a good combination. Tim Duncan is the best power forward we've ever had.
Yeah, we won't get nobody like him.
There's not a question in my mind right now. There's not a question who the best power forward we ever had is. It's Tim Duncan. So there's my 3 lists. Why don't you give me yours?
All right, so we're doing no repeats first. All right.
No repeats. All right.
Okay, no repeats. Of course, if I look at that top line, I'm gonna have to go with Kobe. I can't help it.
Top line's Kobe. All right.
So we got Kobe, and then
I'll pull it up right here. So you got Kobe on the top line.
I'm gonna run. Oh, this is no repeat, so I'm running Jason Kidd point.
Okay. I kept toying with Jason Kidd and AI all the time, just back and forth. I'm sorry, but at your $1 line, if you can't repeat, you gotta take a point guard.
Yeah.
Like you
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
You got AI and Kidd. Like
I mean, it's nothing you can really.
there's
you
nothing
have
you
to
can.
go.
You
You
have to
go
go
with
point there.
So I'm going Jason Kidd at the 1, Kobe at the 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna put KD at the 3,
Okay.
and I'm putting Giannis at the 4.
Okay. So I'm assuming you got Marcus Gasol
At the 5.
at your 5. All right. That's a good lineup.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Kidd is one of the greatest passers ever.
Yeah.
Kobe, one of the greatest scorers ever.
I mean, just you have Kobe, KD, and Giannis. Like, let's stop for a second.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter who else you have on the court at that point in time.
And that's all, defense and offense.
Yeah.
So repeatable. Oh, we
Yeah.
have to get down with this repeatable now. So I'm gonna go Steph at the 1.
Okay.
Kobe at the 2.
Okay. $10 already spent. Oof. All right.
Giannis at 3.
Okay.
AD at the 4.
Okay.
And Gasol at the 5.
You can't put Gasol at the 5.
Why not?
You're overpriced then.
Uh-uh.
You got 10,
10.
11, 12, 13, 14. You only got $1 left. Gasol's 3.
No, his brother.
Where do you see his dog?
Powell.
Oh. Alright, that's my bad. I was like, what do you mean? I forget Powell sometimes, so that's my bad.
And that, sir,
No offense to Powell.
that is a championship lineup right there. Steph, Kobe,
I can tell you the best championship.
and Giannis.
I can tell you the best championship in our lineup right now. Okay. Steph, Kobe, Shaq, you and me. Boom.
But I'm passing.
I will set picks all day.
All day.
Excuse me,
I'm the
sir.
guy. I'm the guy that's getting technical fouls and fouling out the game and stuff.
I will Draymond stat the shit out of it. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 5 technical fouls.
Yep.
No problem.
I'm trying to think what would be the best lineup on there. There's so many good ones.
I mean, there's so many good ones.
Oh man, like we didn't even put Nash in nothing.
No. Nash. We
Yao
never
Ming.
said We never said Harden, Yao Ming. We never said
Chris Paul,
we never said Chris Paul. We never said
Kawhi,
Kawhi. We never said
Dirk,
Dirk. Like, ugh.
Dwight. Well, I put Dwight in my
No.
repeat.
Did you put Dwight in your no? I thought you put Gasol in your no repeat.
Oh no, I did put this on.
Yeah. You didn't touch on. Neither one of us put LeBron in either.
Neither. No. That's a. But with the caliber that's up there, it's hard.
I
It's
mean,
hard.
it's difficult with that type of player. That type
And the
of
money factor. When you gotta add the money factor in. I mean, if I didn't have to add the money factor in, that top line is my starting power.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, clearly. Like, clearly the top 5. Like, if you could have $25, this is not a hard thing to do.
Yeah. No. But think about that top line though, for real.
Steph, Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, and LeBron.
That would be wild. That is a 82-0 team.
Well, here becomes the question:
Mm-hmm.
who brings the ball up the court?
Whoever they want. You don't even need a coach at that point. Who's coaching them? I'm doing Steve Kerr. Here go the clipboard, y'all. I'm gonna go up here, take me a nap. Like what? What? They could just take turns, literally. Only thing they gotta worry
you're
about is
gonna
making
have
sure
to-
Tim Duncan and Shaq stay away from the perimeter. That's all they gotta worry about.
You're gonna have to have a coach like Phil Jackson or Steve Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
One of these just months, Pat Riley, who
Yeah.
can garner the respect of those 5 men to keep them together on the court.
Yeah. But see, none of them really have that ego besides, well, Shaq. Shaq is the only one I can see leaving that team. But out of the other 4, who do you think really has that ego where a coach is going to get to them that bad? That man had to deal with Ty Lue. What are you talking about?
All right. See,
Think about all the, after Phil Jackson, all the coaches that Kobe had to deal with.
I think legitimately the 4 line is underrated too. The $4 line. Look at that lineup.
Just them as a squad together.
Yeah. Chris Paul, D Wade, KD. Like that's a
Chris Paul and Dwight ain't getting along. Matter of fact, Dwight ain't getting along with nobody on that squad.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you could keep Dwight in line,
In line, yeah.
like you gonna have to find the monsters to come out to to play these guys.
Yeah.
Just the height alone, once you
The
get
height
3,
is
4,
what
and
it
5.
is. The height is what it is. You got 3 7-footers.
Yeah. Once you hit 3 7-footers, man, that's
I mean, but look at line number 2. Giannis, AD, Yao Ming. Come on now, who is getting through that
and
wall?
Ray, Jesus Shuttleworth himself. You know, My only problem is on this line is Russell. We're gonna have to convince him to pass.
That's the thing. You got to convince him that he doesn't need to do anything. You have a Giannis.
Yeah, I mean,
the only line that's really viable on there, or vulnerable, I'll say, on there is the $1 line.
Yeah, it's a volatile lineup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a volatile lineup. I don't think the $3 line works as well together either.
No, because Kevin Garnett is gonna make all of them mad.
Yeah.
Besides Gasol, Gasol can take it. But Kawhi gonna be crying trying to deal with Kevin Garnett on his team.
Harden ain't gonna do it.
And Harden is way too soft. And Steve Nash, he could probably be on there, but
Steve Nash gonna act like he don't know English anymore.
yeah. That's, man, I could play with them lineups all day long.
I still love that story. Luka's first time visiting LA, coming down the court, bringing the ball up, and you hear somebody talking shit in his own language.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Kobe sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
This man learned your language just so he could talk shit.
Kobe was a different breed, man. He was a different breed.
All right.
Are we ending our first session?
Let's see. What else do we have? The only other thing we skipped over was the rich white guy moment. And that's essentially just buy assets, not liabilities.
That is a super quote.
I mean, it's very simple. I understand you want that car. I understand you want all the nice things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you have the things to pay for it, you're just trading your time for those things.
Yeah. And time is money.
It is. It's an old saying, but
Yeah.
time is money.
That's what all the old heads used to tell me. Time is money.
Alright, so we're going to be doing this weekly? Weekly, right?
We can do this weekly.
Alright, we're going to do this weekly. We'll post this full video, and then we'll chop it up, put those segments out through each week. If you enjoy it, please comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
Please subscribe.
So, until next time. Peace.
Out.